So last week there are actually quite a lot of liquidity supply and demand trades on the 30-minute charts, so I thought I'd just go through all the opportunities that we were presented with to give you guys a good look at what trades were taken week to week. It wasn't just like a full week of wins or anything, it was a good week, but it wasn't like crazy. There were quite a few trades that didn't actually win, but I mean that's expected because we have a very high average risk to reward. But that should just give you a realistic view of what you can expect using the strategy. And to start off the week, we had UK 100. This basically would have carried the week if you actually took this. The setup might look a little bit weird because of the gaps we made around here and over here as well. But as you can see right here, we did create some one candle liquidity for normal supply and demand traders. There was likely some form of rejection right there. We didn't quite tap the zone, creating some more liquidity right here. And before a lot of you say like it didn't break the high, it would have been a lot nicer if it did come up here to break this high. However, we did kind of make a high, came down and broke that high, and for a setup like this I would consider that valid. But even without that, there was still this one candle liquidity that would have technically made this okay to take. Furthermore, this is on a new pair that we have, UK 100, and oh my days bro, where has it been all my life? It is actually crazy. I'll probably make a video on it next video, just like talking about indices and stuff and how it works with the strategy. I know a lot of people are interested in trading gold and stuff, but yeah, I'll talk about that next video, I guess. But yeah, all this shit ain't me just like waffling, trying to validate a trade because it went for a good risk reward. This is literally put in a daily forecast and explained why it's valid in the Discord. So but yeah, when we look into the higher time frames such as the 4 hour, we're quite clearly forming some kind of uptrend right here, literally just slowly breaking highs. Had our retracement right here, which looks big enough to then continue going upwards, and we also had this high right here, which is a great TP area. But yeah, other than that, we're overall clearly in an uptrend. It is just a bullish market. It looks a little bit different to Forex pairs do on like the higher time frames and just everything. It moves a lot different. That's something everyone's just got to get used to. But yeah, then TP1 would have been right here, and TP2 could have either been at this high, which would have been a 1 to 8, or you could have just extended it to the full 1 to 10 right here, which would have also matched the high over here. So that was just up to the trader, but let's just say it's at the 1 to 10. If you want to consider it to be a 1 to 8 trade, then do so. But instantly got a very nice rejection from this. Break of candle entry, as we've explained before. You might think it's valid for a flip entry because we entered and then flipped, but I assume this was very early in the candle's formation, so it was just safer to take the break of candle entry. And then just an insane rejection, as we usually get from our zones. Slight retracement, as expected. This is where you can't just like get scared and exit at break even. And then fairly smooth sailing overall. TP1 would have been hit. This is where we take off half our position, so like 2.85 or something percent, who knows man. And then eventually full TP got hit for the full 1 to 10, which is pretty crazy, especially considering the only other trade we've had on UK 100 before this also hit this. This is a very clean trade. This liquidity was just beautiful right here. I'm telling you, UK 100 bro, where has it been? Where has it been? We needed this. So yeah, this would have been just like an insane trade. Unfortunately, I actually managed to miss it somehow. I had an alert right here, and it literally just didn't go off, which I was kind of pissed about because like it literally gave such a good entry as well. I don't know how it didn't go off, but yeah, that kind of made me have a more average week than I should have done. I know a few people did take this though, so good shit to them. It was put in the daily forecast and everything, so everybody knew it was valid. Next we had order NZD. This trade was also of course sent to the Discord. Liquidity may look a bit weird, that's just because it's very close to the zone. Accuracy zone of course, and the liquidity was probably like what, 0.3 pips away from the zone, so it's still valid. If it's like 0.1 pips, then you just kind of count it as tapped. But yeah, valid zone. Accuracy zones usually work like best because they're not obvious zones, because banks usually don't move as much from the most obvious zones a lot of the time. General just definitely moving in a downtrend at the moment. I mean, look at this. This is just lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Yeah, it's just downtrending like crazy. And yeah, we'd hoped to get a good entry like around up here, but it started moving just really quickly. Even though entry would have been like break a candle usually, we actually didn't enter at first because it was just a terrible entry, and we waited for it to come up a little bit before taking it, which was pretty good because we actually got a nice push down after this, I believe. Yeah, and I know it says TP1 right here, but on our entry this wasn't even a 1 to 3, so this wasn't actually TP1. This is what it originally was, as shown in the signal screenshot, but that's because we expected to get an entry more around here or so, and that would have been a pretty good RR. And it was the one area that you could really have like a TP1 at if TP2 is at the low. So just at this little demand area, didn't really expect much to happen from it, but yeah, easy break-even trade. If you see momentum coming like this from a key area or demand or supply zone, it is pretty easy to just close this one at break-even. But unfortunately for me, once again, I was asleep. Break-even happened at 4:30 AM. So I didn't manage to because I didn't even realize it was rejecting from this zone at 2:30. So I hadn't put my stop to break-even. This should have been the easiest break-even trade. The last trade should have been the easiest 1 to 8, 1 to 10 trade. And somehow I fucked both of them. That's my bad. Sometimes I sleep, so yeah. But yeah, overall, this was a break-even type trade. I know some people did make some profit from this. If they got a better entry, then they probably would have been able to take TP1 at the demand zone. So good shit to them, bad shit to me, never sleeping again. But we then had USD CHF. As you can see right here, we had our zone, we had our clean level of liquidity that broke its lows just over and over again, came very cleanly up to the zone, gave a very good rejection, instantly closing bearish, entry just on bearish close, obviously, and very good rejections off the start. However, when volume started slowing down, I believe this just slowly went towards break even. This is where I got tagged out and I was like, damn, maybe that was a mistake. But with low volume like this, especially when it's just making higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then just cruising towards making that next high, it looked like it was gonna happen. Especially just like I said, no volume coming in. So this was a break even trade, but at the end of the day, I'd rather that than a loss. So not bad. Overall, this should still have been like a fucking 9% week. How did I miss UK 100, man? What the fuck? Nah, I'm joking. That's all good. We've got infinite opportunities in the market. Speaking of infinite opportunities, it felt like there were actually so many this week because we then had EU. Wait, I'm just realizing, I think I've messed something up. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure on this trade, we just got in on the rejection. When I said we waited for it to come back up, I don't think that was true. I think I was getting confused with EU. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. My bad. This is the real one that we waited for it to come back up for a better entry. So this wasn't too bad, and this is currently going quite well. However, it is yet to hit TP because, I mean, if you look at the, yeah, it's turned weekend. So we're gonna see if this hits. I can't really see it not hitting, to be honest. We're literally 4 pips away from TP2, not TP2. This is a full TP. There was no TP1 on this trade, so that'll be a 4%. That's just a very nice trade. There's not really too much to say about this one. Similarly to the UK 100 one, liquidity was here, and even though we didn't break this low, which would have been much nicer, we did break a low that was created here. It's happened twice this week, which is quite rare, but it still happened either way. And trend, this is just a downtrend right here, and luckily we caught the continuation. Very nice. And once again, if you got a better entry on this could be a very insane trade, like a 1 to 8 or so, but not for me. 1 to 4, I will take it. Put me up on the week, assuming this actually hits full TP, which, yeah, like I said, I can't really imagine that it won't. And then finally, GJ. This position is weird because we have like a lot of consolidation, but it created quite a lot of levels of liquidity. Like we had liquidity here, we broke the low, had liquidity here, broke some lows, I don't know. But had our rejection, sat in profit for a little bit, but I believe once again, wait, did we close on break even on like, I think all the trades this week were like break even trades without even hitting TP1, but this one was for a different reason. It's because all of the GBP pairs looked like they were turning bullish, and it was also coming up on swap hours, so they would have been closing anyway, because this is way too close to stop loss to be holding through swap hours. So yeah, this was not worth holding at all. Okay, I know I said this is a realistic week, but most weeks we're not closing at break even this much. The best thing to do the majority of the time is just hold till TP or stop loss. However, we had every reason to close on a lot of these trades. With this one, literally every GBP pair was like turning to bullish, and swap hours were coming up. And yeah, before swap hours, we do close quite often, even if we're just in like 1 to 2% profit, just because if not, you can just so easily get taken out, and it's just annoying. Forward NZD, just when you're reacting this hard from a demand zone, like once you're seeing this momentum, you're not going to be holding through this, especially after we closed in this supply zone right here. It just looks like we're going bullish by that point. And then USD CHF, we're just making high highs, and yeah. I think that was all the trades. I'm pretty sure overall, if you took UK 100, should have been over a 10% week. If you didn't, It's probably more like a 3 to 4% week. Still good either way. A 3 to 4% week is very, very good. Do not underestimate how good that is. That could be tens of thousands on a large investor's account. Just because you've got a small account does not mean that that is not worth the same amount. Once you have the capital, you're chilling. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was all the trades this week. Quite an exciting one, let me tell you. Not that you want trading to be exciting, but we actually had quite a lot of opportunities for the 30-minute. And yeah, I'll see you boys next week. Subscribe, like, comment, join Discord. And yeah, peace, man. See ya.